What am I talking about? How is it possible? I was with my dad this weekend. He came over. He does amateur comedy. And he's very conservative, always been conservative. I'll tell you what's gone on is that ever since Trump came onto the picture, mixed with the cheating of Bernie Sanders, I have come to understand that my understanding of the political world is based on a lie. It's always been based on a lie. That I've spent my entire adult life claiming to be a Democrat, on some very thin ideals that the Democrats sort of kind of speak as though they lean in the direction of the things that I would like to see happen in our society as a whole, right? Okay. So, but I'm walking around with a true liberal bounce in my step as though, hey, I'm the smarty pants in this situation. Damn those Republicans, if only it weren't for them. And that is total and utter bullshit. It has always been bullshit. I feel like that's a huge part of my awakening process, is realizing that duality is set up specifically so that nothing can ever get done, because we're not supposed to be aware of the trick. What if we're not aware of that duality, then it works to keep us in stasis, right? How long have we been doing Republican, Democrat, and just watching the decline of our country over the last 30 years? But the Republicans, but the Democrats, but the Republicans, but the Democrats. It keeps us out of the necessary progressive thought energy that collectively we need to reach in order to progress forward. So as a society. Now, here's something cool that's happening. I think people are starting to circle back towards providing for their own needs. I sell solar. It's taken off like a shot. I'm going to make $1 million, right? I'm going to make $1 million because I'm going to sell solar, providing people here in this beginning transition period a way to provide for their own energy needs. And while solar is probably the tip of the iceberg, things are absolutely moving in that direction. People are starting to understand that. And while at the same time, you have a huge beast awakened by the blatant disregard of their own constituency witnessed during the 2016 election and the cheating of Bernie Sanders. And I know we keep talking about it, but I feel like when in 30 years, when we really have begun to see the way that the new generation is gonna take over, when we've really begun to see that the technology, what the new technologies that are coming, that have been hidden, they are coming, what the new technologies, what changes they'll make to the face of our society and our planet. I kind of lost my space there, but here's what I'm getting at. I'm talking to my dad, and for the first time since maybe in my whole adult political understanding, ever since I've been engaged, I can talk to my dad in a calm way that does not make both of us very angry. And that is such a progress, such a progress in my life, that in me personally, specifically in my life and in his, that I think that it's had a profound effect on both of us as far as having a look at, hey, what's changed? Why is it that now we can calmly have a conversation and we can disagree, but I don't feel anger and angst towards you later? Maybe that's personal development. But something about 2016 changed the investment that he and I both had in the other side. He is loosening up his grip that he is absolutely right on all points. I am loosening up my grip that he's absolutely wrong on all points. And somehow we are having conversations that are now influencing and informing both parties, where before it was more like fist fighting and angry and all this jazz. So not really fist fighting, but if you see what I'm saying. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. My boss asked me if I'm a liberal, and at this point I associate the word liberal with the people who cheated Bernie Sanders. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I don't know what that word is. Somebody else made it up. The same way that socialism, communism, capitalism. If you don't have, it's a balance. It's a balance. In all things, it's a balance. What I meant to say earlier when I said that people are coming around to caring for their own needs. It's not just energetically and food-wise and growing your own food and going organic or even financially, economically. It's spiritually. We begin to understand the inherent corruption born of centralization. All centralization is, it's like a cone. It's multi-dimensional, a pyramid. It just circles up to the top and stops. Concentrates the energy there. Look at energy as money. Money is energy. Tell me that money does not have energetic power, and I'll tell you, you're full of fucking shit. All that energy just sitting in one place at the top of the pyramid. People are returning back to a point, as well they should, where they are providing for their own needs, as opposed to looking to a priest. They provide their own spiritual understanding, as opposed to looking towards the government. They provide their own employment and economy, as opposed to looking for you get the idea, looking towards the central energy companies to provide a grid. We begin to understand that it's possible to do these things for ourselves, as possible as it has always been, because we are blessed to live on a planet of abundance. You put one seed in the ground, you get much fruit. You get many more seeds. You plant a seed, you get many more seeds. You get much fruit from one seed. I know I kept saying that over and over again, but the water cleanses and nourishes. The system is perfect. The temperature is perfect. We've always had the possibility. It's always been a possibility to take care of ourselves. And now they make rules and laws in America against collecting rainwater, against zero-point energy devices on your property, against laws against you providing for your own needs. And so that tells you that this centralization of power and money into one place is at best faulted, and at worst the cause of corruption. Hard to lie if it's spread out among many, many people. It's hard to cheat power when it's spread out and you're accountable to many, many people. It's hard to use when you're accountable and wide open and transparent to many, many people. It's difficult to do that because you cannot be open and transparent and with